Games ecosystem and LATAM. Come and find out the latest news from Unreal Engine, Epic Games Store, and more in an entire hour of programming with Epic Games. That's right. Paulo, Souza, and Martina Santoro will bring you the latest updates on Unreal Engine 5 and MetaHumans and explore what's new for developing your next games and immersive experiences. Well, for the first time at a Latin American event, Palomino and Hector Sanchez will present some of the Latin American projects awarded Epic MegaGrants that have launched on the Epic Games Store. Well, finally, Leão Carvalho will talk about the efforts of the international publishing team and bring the latest news from Fortnite, Rocket League, and the Epic Games Stores. Well, don't miss this unique opportunity to meet the team and ask questions live. It's going to be, yeah, that's right, epic. Well, so this session is in English, so I'm just reminding you, I'm sorry. I said that we're going to answer some questions, but we unfortunately don't have a Q&A session, but it's okay. We have lots of fun content right now, okay? So please, let's welcome Paulo Souza, Unreal Engine evangelist at Epic Games, Palomino, business development manager at Epic Games, Hector Sanchez, head of publishing at Epic Games, Leão Carvalho, senior marketing, publishing, and distribution executive at Epic Games, and moderating Martina Santoro, Unreal Engine evangelist for the Americas at Epic Games. How are you guys?
Hi, everyone.
It's such a pleasure to have you all here, especially, well, Leão, we know each other. It's so good to see you on the screen.
Hi,
Hi. Well, you know, the screen is yours. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Let's start. First, hi everyone, and thanks for coming to this year's Epic Games keynote at a big festival. And it's important for us that these events keep pushing forward and bringing the industry together, no matter how hard things get. And we are very thrilled to be part of a big festival this year, one more time. And we are once again here to bring you great news from Epic and for the region. For the ones that don't know us, I'd like to start a little bit with our timeline. Before becoming what we are today, this big international company, Epic started like 30 years ago in Tim Sweeney's basement, and it still has been like a 30-year-old startup to this day. And all those years, Epic has been always loving to share technology with the world. Starting with ZZT, and to this day with Fortnite, we love to give back to the community the tools that can be used to make the next generation of companies and the next generation of games. In the recent years, we've been in a position to give back more and more. We made the Unreal Engine free in 2015. We achieved crossplay with Fortnite a few years ago. And we're proud to be defining industry economics with better deals for developers with the Epic Games Store. Today, we're going to talk about our core business and how it relates to the community in Latin America. We want to share the different stages of what we call our ecosystem, starting with the Unreal Engine, our free-to-use content creation tool, and then move on to our distribution efforts, the Epic Games Store, Epic Online Services, and Epic Games Publishing. And finally, the games and entertainment, we're going to bring some of the challenges and how we approach the gaming community in Latin America. I'd like to start with technology. The Unreal Engine is the backbone of Epic Technologies' effort. It is the most advanced 3D and open creation tool. As our technology becomes even more and more advanced, more and more people can access it, no matter who they are or where they are. Our industries and even our economies, and more people accessing is making this a kind of like an unstoppable process that we believe will change this forever. The power to create, design, animation, and animate, it's going to change our world for the better. And We are seeing a movement where game engines are really changing the world. So real-time 3D technology are changing the way which innovation collaboration is happening, and mostly because iteration and collaboration with real-time 3D can happen in the moment. It can happen in real time, right? Real-time engines don't produce static artifacts. They output like fully interactive worlds and assets that are ready to use across any digital medium, and not only games, but movies, TV series, and all kinds of other experiences. But the best of everything with Unreal is that Unreal is free for creators, right? You can download and use Unreal Engine to build your games or your immersive experiences for free. There's no monthly subscription or special pro version. What you get from our launcher is the same technology that we use for our games. But better than that, a year ago, we made a massive decision and changed our business model for games. So now royalties are waived on your first 1 million in gross revenue. And we believe that the new licensing terms for Unreal give game developers, an unprecedented advantage over other engine licensing models. An Unreal Engine has everything you need to build and ship successful games and entertainment content for any genre, any platform. All of our tools and features are included out of the box. You have free access to the game engine source code. You have a robust C++ API. You can use Blueprint visual scripting to build your games and experiences. You have the power to take your project to the next level in any way you like, and it's fully free. In all these years, we learned that multi-platform development is key for the success of our games. So that's why Unreal is built from the ground up to support that. Our own games push our technology forward, and that's why Unreal is one of the first engines to have supported next generation console platforms and technologies like real-time ray tracing. But speaking of next generation, in 2020, we announced Unreal Engine 5. We believe UE5 will lay the foundation for what next generation games and experiences are going to be. UE5 brings new technology to the table that's the result of decades of research. I'd like to talk a little bit about those. Nanite is our virtual micro-polygon geometry support. We're finally going to have film quality assets with billions of triangles. And we believe that's finally the end of polycount budgets, or we may be switching to a phase in the games industry and in the real-time rendering industry where we'll no need to create any more normal maps. Finally bringing movie-like details to games and other real-time experiences. We're also bringing LUMEN, which is Unreal Engine 5 new dynamic global illumination system. Next generation games and simulations will require more advanced lighting, such as time of day, sunlight, or lighting react to world changes. This is why everyone in this industry has been pursuing a definitive solution for real-time global illumination. But calculating GI, it's very, very computation intensive. In GI in real time, it's even worse than that. It's the reason why real-time GI is known as the holy grail of computer graphics. And we believe that Unreal Engine 5 will finally change that. I'd like to show you a video of some of the features that's coming with UE5 very soon.
Might be.
I'd like to call Martina Santoro now, our evangelist for Latin America. And Martina is now going to take over to speak about some of our education efforts in the region. So Martina, please come up.
Gracias, Paulo. Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. We've been working so hard with the team of evangelists in the last year, and especially dedicating ourselves to create great content for our indie teams around the world to thrive. So if we move to the next slide, please. I would like to tell you a little bit about our special initiative we created last year. It's this new 2-week-long sham from developers to get together and quickly create projects in Unreal Engine 5. This event welcomed both experienced and novice developers and allows them to experiment and test new mechanics and genres while getting guidance from seasoned teams, experts from around the world. The first Adventurous Game Jam took place last October and put all of the focus on narrative-driven games and had no other than Senscape team itself as the Sham's game master of ceremony. They were the Jedis that guided over 200 people in the creation of 12 amazing games that you can actually go and play right now on itch.io. We also created our first ever Unreal Indie Week that actually took place last month. During a whole week, Unreal celebrated inspiring indie teams from all around the world. We even invited several teams from Latin America that share their insights and their expertise and all the experience they gained during their development journeys along the last years. You can actually go and find all this content on our blog posts, and there are also like video interviews and streams. There's also a lot of more content on our social media platforms. Next slide, please. As the 10th of daily meetings we attended in the past week at the big business rounds prove, our vision is growing. More and bigger projects are being developed all over Latin America with Unreal Engine. We need more people. We need more skilled people. Teams everywhere are asking to help, are asking us to help them find this talent. This is why we brought to Latin America the Unreal Authorized Training Program to support all of those out there that are committed to high quality of education. By becoming an Unreal Authorized Instructor or an Unreal Authorized Training Center, Epic will support your training process so that together we can ensure partners are getting the highest quality of Unreal Engine developers in their teams. We already have our first 10 instructors in LATAM. Actually, 2 are from Brazil, and there are more coming. In the last couple of months, we had some really nice experience that we are hoping to bring to all over the region. Next slide, please. And the good news won't stop coming. Last week, we announced that ArtStation joined the Epic Games family. As you know, ArtStation provides a platform for creators across games, media, and entertainment where they can develop and share their portfolios, post and discover job opportunities, and make a living while doing what they love. Together, we will continue to grow the ArtStation community and integrate new features and tools that expands creators' abilities to showcase their talent and work. And from day one of this partnership, Epic reduced ArtStation marketplace fees so creators can get even more value out of the platform. And get ready for this. We also made ArtStation Learning and its amazing education content completely free to all users for the remainder of 2021. So yes, if you're not using Unreal, just go now and sign up in the ArtStation website. Next slide, please. And now that, thanks to Epic, you can finally create convincing photorealistic digital humans, fully rigged and complete with hair and clothing and everything. And I can't believe this still, but you can have these characters that it used to be so hard and so slow and so expensive in the past. You can go now and sign up for free in the MetaHumans creator early access and start using this cloud-based app that takes real-time digital human creation from weeks or even months to less than an hour. And your character, when your character is finished, you just can export it and download it, rig it, and ready for you to animate it in Unreal. Next slide, please. And last but not least, for the teachers out there, the ones we are counting with to inspire the next generation of creators to join us in this gaming industry in Latin America, we are bringing for the first time ever to Latin America a special program to help high school educators learn how they can bring content related to programming, design, art, critical thinking, even history and geography into the classroom with the help of Fortnite Creative. Now kids will be able to create video games and other interactive content to later share and play with their friends online while learning. So how cool does that sound? Next slide, please. And all of this couldn't be possible without our team of rockstar evangelists in Latin America. As you know, our team in Latin America keeps growing. We are working side by side with teams of all sizes, creating new content in Spanish, in Portuguese, and bringing more opportunities for everyone to keep growing with us. Next slide. And this is working. Oh, see, we couldn't be more proud of our partners. Maybe not all games in Latin America are developed with Unreal, but the best games are. So let me show you a bit of what these guys have been up to. How great are those games? For our next section of the presentation, let me introduce you to our very own, el señor Sean Palomino.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited to be here. I'm joined by Hector as well. And we would love to share with you an awesome program that you should know about, which is Epic MegaGrants. It's a cool program that launched in March of 2019. It's a $100 million fund that's been established to help support UE4 projects across different industries, open source projects, and initiatives that can benefit the 3D graphics community. Since we're here at BIG focusing on games, we want to make sure that all the game developers are aware of this program. It's a cool way to transition from other engines to Unreal, or potentially secure funding to help with your development. If you have an opportunity, please grab one of our Unreal evangelists to talk more about that. Hector, let me give you an opportunity to speak here too, since you're pretty involved with MegaGrants.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Appreciate it. No pressure. MegaGrants is an amazing program. It's an opportunity to get seed funding for your projects. The team behind the MegaGrants program really wants to make sure that we have diversity in our awardees. And obviously, as you can see from the passion from Paulo and Martina and Sean, that we very much try to encourage them to look at Latin America, because we feel the next wave of really impactful content is going to be coming from this region. So I highly encourage folks to take a look at the Epic MegaGrants program. There's no strings attached here. This is just free money. And this is a way for Epic to kind of like pay forward our success in a sustainable way, to kind of encourage developers to chase their dreams and hopefully give us guidance in providing a tool set for those developers to chase their dreams as well. So I can't encourage folks enough to apply for it. It costs nothing to apply, and you can get literally thousands of dollars to get your projects off the ground. So please take a look. And I think Sean is going to talk about some of our recent awardees as well, so you can see some of the talent and kind of the output of what this program has been able to facilitate.
Thanks, Hector. Let's go to the next slide. So we support, Epic supports MegaGrants for more than just games. Here are the different verticals that where we're pretty active. Games, media and entertainment, education, tools and open source. Below is text that describes the kind of things that we're looking for and help fund. We have more information, of course, available on our website and tons of announcements that you can use as reference. MegaGrants can range anywhere between $5,000 to $500,000. We always encourage teams when they submit their applications through the form to give us a clear breakdown of how the funds would be used. That gives us better insights into your plans. We are looking for projects that are of high quality with unique appeal, that are viable, whose goals we have confidence can be met. We trust the recipients with the funds. As Hector mentioned, it's no strings attached. We fund according to the developer's goals, and we take no ownership over IP, which is awesome. Next slide, please. We're extremely proud to support LATAM developers now. Here are a few examples of games, tools, and even a film that we're involved in. There are other recipients as well who you can find online and on our website. We're extremely proud of Hazel Sky by Coffee Addict Studio, Godot Engine, which is a free and open source game engine, Asylum by Senscape, The Eternal Cylinder by Ace Team, Captain Toonhead versus the Punks from Outer Space by TerraVision Games, and Gilgamesh by Hookup. Congratulations to them. Next slide, please. As I mentioned earlier, we also help fund educational grants, anything from research to developing Unreal curriculum or any creative ideas around open source or anything that might benefit the graphics community. Here are a few academic institutions that we're very proud of collaborating with, ranging from Argentina to Puerto Rico. Congratulations to them as well. In the next slide, I'll leave this one with Hector.
Yeah, thanks. This one's really impactful to me and means a lot. I came to Brazil Independent Games Festival back in 2014, I remember, and just seeing kind of like the way that the community in LATAM has grown and the quality of games, how they've increased, it really means a lot to me. And I know that there's a lot more work to be done. And the Epic MegaGrants program and this team specifically feels that we need to do more to make sure that people have the tools in order to kind of achieve their dreams in making an impact in this space. And we were able to partner a group called Minas Programa, which is run by a lovely kind of group of women who put women of color and women from indigenous backgrounds at the forefront of providing the onboarding and tools and background to kind of enter this space that we know has a lot of future for entertainment. So there's a big divide with digital literacy. And we know that oftentimes poverty or gender or a lot of things block people from being able to achieve that. Sometimes the dream is so big, they don't know where to start. And Minas Programan is a group that have kind of identified that space and are working really hard to create this tool set and to create programs and courses to kind of bring almost what's often the most ignored subset of our population, which is women, and especially women of color, into the tech space. So we were very happy and very honored to partner with them and make sure that we can get them some funding so that they can expand their program. And if you all don't know about this program, you should really look them up, because I know that they're looking for more and more people to join, to kind of get them onto that on-ramp to hopefully create a career, and in a few years be part of that reel that Martina showed a little while ago. So it's a responsibility that we all take on, and we're very happy to partner up with them. This is an example of how we want to expand our support in the region. So check it out. I highly encourage everyone to check it out. And if you have somebody in your life that you think that could benefit from this program, encourage them to apply. This was the first step in many that we have with this group, and we're going to be around for a really long time. So please, again, I encourage you, look them up and be part of it. Next.
And here's a QR code that you can use to go to our website to apply. Please look up at the information. We have an FAQ available, and consider applying through the web form soon. Oh, well, expanding on this ecosystem that we have available, we just spoke about MegaGrants and helping secure funding. We also have a distribution method and a publishing arm and online services available for free that I'd love to share with you. Next slide, please. So the Epic Games Store launched in December of 2018, and we've created a new platform to launch games internationally. We've just included apps that span from entertainment, game development, and more. We also have a publishing arm that I'll let Hector speak a little bit more about. Cool. Well, here are some of the core benefits and values of our platform. We offer a free game every week. The Epic Games Store supports PC and Mac. We have exclusive games across all sorts of genres and game sizes. Like I mentioned earlier, we now support apps. We would love to get in touch with you if you're interested in bringing your app to the store. We have a public feature roadmap on Trello where you can see some of the new and upcoming things that we're doing to support developers. I want to stress this point pretty largely. We support games of any engine. Even though Unreal has been our legacy, we understand there are other technologies that are used to build games and totally welcome them. Additionally, we have a support a creator influencer program where they can benefit from 5% of a sale in the store, courtesy of Epic. So please check that out. Next slide, please. Here are some stats of our performance last year. We're very grateful to have over 160 million registered customers through our platform. Of those, 56 million are active monthly users. We have additional stats here that again, we're grateful for. We're carving out an awesome community and platform for third parties. And we're grateful for the opportunity to be at Big to talk to developers directly. If you haven't had a chance to connect with us, please grab one of the evangelists and we'll have our contact information here later for you to get in touch. All right, well, we're glad to celebrate that we already have games from LATAM on the store and the number is growing. We're super excited to connect with people and learn more about what they're doing, all sorts of genres, game sizes, art styles, with deep cultural references and rich stories that are being told. We love it and we celebrate it. In fact, Hector, I know I've been hogging the mic, but I'll give you a chance to chime in on any of these.
Yeah, no, this is just an example of how we're trying to diversify our lineup in the Epic ecosystem. Sludge Life is a huge one, from our side. Terry is Brazilian and has made some amazing games in the past. All of these games are absolutely incredible. So again, there is an opportunity for Epic to showcase your game and for developers from Latin America to get their product up on the store. So as Sean spoke, please reach out and let's figure out a way to do it. We know that there's gems out there, and that we know that we have kind of like the tool set to shine a light on the things that developers are making in this region.
And with that, we'd love to share a game that's coming soon on the store.
Hey, hatun karai yahtaipa tawanding kujuman. Jaipi pujuya timui, jai kahni kuta suachnita. Jai glitse tupuiniman jayanka.
Imp of the Sun is a 2D platformer game that combines fast-paced action and a unique Peruvian-influenced art style and soundtrack. Please wishlist today on EGS. It's available June 30th. Thank you.
And I would like to take the stage a little bit to talk a little bit about the Epic Games Online service and complementing the Epic Games Store. We built some of these services for Fortnite, right? We launched them across 7 major platforms: PlayStation, Xbox, all consoles, PC, and mobile. But a few years back, we have opened the Epic Online services to all developers for free. And that's all in a single multi-platform SDK. The SDK exists in C++ if you're making games in Unreal or your own engine, but it also exists in C# language if you need to integrate this to Unity or other engines which use C#. You can mix and match all of these services together with your own account services, platform accounts, Epic Games accounts, and reach the world's largest cross-platform social graph with over 350 million players. Our SDK supports all of these features: matchmaking, lobbies. You have support for peer-to-peer, so you can establish peer-to-peer network connectivity between multiple players. You have achievement stats, leaderboards, player data storage, everything for free that can be downloaded now. Like I said, again, we built these services for Fortnite, so it's feature-proven. And we also rely on these services for our store. We also rely on this for the engine. So if you want more information and FAQ, you can go to this website and reach the largest cross-platform social graph today. Coming next, I'd like to bring Hector to talk a little bit more about Epic Games Publishing.
Thank you, Paulo. Yes, I know I spoke a couple of times before. My name is Hector Sanchez. and I am the head of Epic Games Publishing here, which is our actual third party or second party actually publishing arm at Epic. And what publishing means is that, you know, we fund your game from the beginning to the end, and we help you distribute and market it and bring it out to the universe. So I'm really happy to kind of talk to you about some of our core pillars of what we're doing in this space and kind of tie it all in on how each part of what we've talked about up until this point kind of can lead to this moment. So next slide, please. So for Epic Games Publishing, what we really want to do in this space is be a disruptive force. You know, disruption is always something that you hear in Silicon Valley and across the world, but we truly want to be this disruptive force in this space, similar to what we're doing with the Epic Games Store in advocating for an 88-12 revenue split than what is kind of considered industry standard 70-30. In the same way that we're making inroads with that that struggle, we're doing the same thing in the publishing space as well. So traditionally, publishing partnerships have been a little bit more onerous and a little bit more grabby in the past. But I think now in 2021, we have the opportunity and the ability to change what the developer and publisher dynamic can be. And this comes from the heart, because Epic at its core is a group of developers making the games that they want to. So it wouldn't be fair for us to kind of have a different sort of relationship with other developers who are making their own games. So how can we do this? We can make sure that developers retain all of their intellectual property rights, which is something that's very, very huge. If a developer makes a game, they should own that game and that idea forever. It shouldn't belong to somebody else just because they paid for it. If the game blows up and if the game becomes very, very popular, it's because of the developer. It's because of the people that did the hard work in that space to kind of create that game. It's not because somebody just had big pockets and was able to pay for it. So we want to make sure that the creative freedom and ownership stays with the developers and they have full creative control of their work. We announced Epic Games Publishing last year, and we have some very high profile developers. And I'm certainly not in a position to tell Fumito Ueda how to make the best game possible. If anything, I'm learning from him. So we don't need to have anything in our contract that says he must do what we're trying to do. And we want to share that with all of our developers across all of our kind of products that we have. As I spoke before, I'm kind of giving you an early definition of what publishing is. We pay for all of the development costs. And what that means is that this is the money that goes to you as a developer to help pay your salary, to help pay insurance, to help buy lunch, to help pay the rent, to help buy computers. This is something that we provide development funding for. And then we also take care of the marketing costs, which sometimes can be very, very expensive, as you all know. It takes a lot. You can't just make a good game and expect everybody in the world to know about it. You also need a team that's going to help you show it to the world and kind of put it in the right places so that people can get an understanding of the great art that you're making. And another thing that a lot of independent teams can know about is that towards the end of the project, there's a lot of work that needs to be done for a game to come to market. You have to worry about QA, you have to worry about localization, especially in Brazilian Portuguese. You have to worry about PR. You have to worry about a bunch of kind of like publishing issues that sometimes takes away from the focus that a team needs to have towards the end of a project in order to make the game the best as possible. What we want to do in Epic Games Publishing is take that responsibility on our shoulders. We'll handle all of that stuff for you. And we have a bunch of people who have years and years of experience doing this so that you can just focus on making the best game possible. At the end of the day, all of that costs money and there's a total amount. So what we want to do is that we want to share in the profit evenly with developers with a 50-50 profit share. Once we make back the money that we spent in what it costs to make the game, anything above that, which is the profit, we should share 50-50. You made the art, we helped pay for it and kind of created the environment in the garden for you to grow the things that you were trying to make. So it's only fair that we just split it 50-50. And this kind of flies in the face of what more traditional publishing models have been like over the years. So here are some examples of how Epic Games Publishing differs and just another component that we have. So it's okay, we can go to the next slide. So again, I spoke last year about this. We announced with three really high level partners with Gen Design from Tokyo, Japan, Playdead from Copenhagen, Denmark, and Remedy from Finland. And these are great, great developers, but we know that there's other developers out there that are aspiring to be the next Ueda, to be the next Playdead, to be the next Sam Lake and the best Remedy, the next Remedy, sorry. And up until now, for the last 30 minutes, you've heard how Epic can provide tools to get you to this point. If you're a developer and you want to get into this space, or if you're an aspiring developer that wants to get into this space, download the engine for free, as Paulo talked about. If you're a teacher that wants to learn more or you want to be involved in it, talk to Martina and figure out how you can get into the instructor program so that you can foster and give that education to the next level of game developers so that they can reach that level. And then once you make that game, as Sean spoke about, we have a distribution system where you can get a fair share of your profits when you sell that game. And if you have a really special game, and we happen to really kind of vibe and feel like we can have a connection, maybe there's an opportunity for you to have a place alongside Ueda and Playdead and Remedy as a part of Epic Games Publishing. Now, when you're part of this group, you'll be able to participate in all the know-how and all the kind of like fireworks that Epic can bring along, having done this for 25 years. And so I'm really happy to take this opportunity to introduce one of my dear friends at Epic, Leão, who can kind of talk to you about how we can focus a lot of the energy of these things towards the Latin American market and international publishing, because we know that games aren't only sold in the West, games aren't only sold in Europe. We know that one of the largest markets and largest consumers is in Latin America. And so we need to provide a baseline for groups to make games for that market. And we want to show you how we can sell games to that market. So Leão, please take over.
Thanks, Hector. Yeah. So as Hector mentioned, we have a special. We believe we have a special approach to publishing games, and I'm going to share some of our guiding principles in how we do it in LATAM for some of our live games, like Rocket League, like Fortnite, and I'll be speaking about some of these principles, and you can go to the next slide. So publishing a live game in a regional market comes with its challenges and benefits. To tackle some of those, we have these three main guiding principles that are there on your screen, and that's what we tend to focus when we're thinking of regional publishing at Epic. And this is just us sharing how we do things, and this is the approach we take, at least with our games. These points are basically having a local focus. That means that the idea that you should be prioritizing solving your local problems versus global problems, and I'll explain what that means in a second, and I'll give you examples of how we've done in the past. Regionally driven innovation means basically leveraging that special position that you have as an international publisher to push for innovation within the market, but also within the company. And cultural relevance means always trying to make sure that your games and properties and IPs are being respectful, but also welcoming and even impacting local culture. So for local focus, basically, the idea that we get into this is, it can be a little bit theoretical, what I'm about to say, but it's the idea of always trying to prioritize solving local problems and engaging with local opportunities. Basically, if you think about it from any sort of problem set, it's hard to tackle literally everything that it's in front of you, and any company knows exactly what it is that I'm talking about. And so basically, global teams usually, they are solving global challenges, which makes sense. So that means that there's going to be a subset of your regional teams' problems that will be solved by those problems that are being solved by the global teams. We believe that it's the local team's responsibility then to focus on the problems that are not being solved by the global initiatives and programs and et cetera. That is, basically it helps you prioritize your local problems. It helps you also understand roles and responsibilities way better, and it helps you define the scope of your problem. That means, for instance, that for us, we're always looking at the issues that are specific in this case to Latin America. I'll give you some examples of how we've done it. With Fortnite, with Rocket League, and et cetera, we try to generate hyper-local content as much as possible. If you go to our local YouTube channels, for instance, you will see a lot of the local content with local flavors, and including different sort of tones and flavors for Brazil and for Spanish-speaking Americas. Brazil more reliant on esports communication because Brazilians love esports, and more memes here and there, and so that means that we're focusing on solving the local issue of communication. Another example is that we think about programs that engage local issues specifically. So competitive ecosystem, right? Like we try to create an ecosystem that goes beyond just the global one that we do for esports, for instance, for Fortnite and Rocket League. Influencers have their own problems locally, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in the next slide, but also solutions to local issues, right? Price mix, infrastructure. We all know there are very specific issues regarding these in Latin America that are not necessarily true in countries or regions like North America or Europe. And so having that focus is the key to success in these local markets. So you can go to the next slide. And so basically, based on the last point, the local team should always be attentive to potential innovation opportunities. The logic for that comes from the fact that if your local team is the only one focusing on a specific set of challenges, well, there might be a specific solution that no one else is thinking about at that point in time. This not only allows you and your team to be creative and excited about solving problems, but you generate tangible value, like I mentioned, for the player and the company, and as long as you share those learnings. A few concrete examples of innovation that we pushed for within the local team with Fortnite. I have a few of them, but one of them that I love explaining and showcasing, I think, is it's the bar to having a brand partnership from a local brand is way higher for local brands, right? Like, and so for us to put any sort of Brazilian or Latin American brand into Fortnite, it's tricky. And the way we approach this is leveraging Fortnite Creative to do that. And so that opened up a whole ecosystem where brands can be inside of Fortnite and communicate with our players at a local level. Local brands are doing this all the time. But the example of Havaianas, they're not anymore a local brand, but they just launched this amazing creative island, and they're engaging with players. I have a few more examples, but we're running out of time, so I want to go to the meaty part, which I think is my favorite and the most exciting. So you can go to the next slide. And lastly, I think it's crucial for regional teams to try to always strive to respect, represent, and impact local culture for sure. Especially if your game is a global one with different communities around the world. I think it's crucial not only because your players will have a stronger, more meaningful connection to the experience, but also you'll be able to increase the cultural significance of the game in your region. If we believe in creating powerful entertainment platforms, and I hope we all do, then we also believe that Brazil, Spanish-speaking America, and Latin America as a whole should have an important role in it. And these are some of the examples that we try to incorporate into our games that sort of bring that Latin American feel and vibe. And, last week, we just launched the new emote that I'm very proud of because it's the onda, onda, olha onda. We had concerts with J Balvin, and we had a Pele tournament. And so trying to bring what makes Latin America special to this global stage, I think it's a good, should always be on top of our heads. And you can go to the next slide. And I think that, two of the most iconic moments, I believe, that we've done are, of course, the Neymar Jr. joining Fortnite this season. So go grab him while you can. It's in the battle pass. It's it's a really cool outfit. And same as Pelé with Rocket League, he has a whole set of decals and everything inspired by Pelé. And with that, I think I'm done, but I want to share, a cinematic showcasing Neymar Jr. joining Fortnite, which I think I'm super proud of. I think it's a really cool moment for us Brazilians and Latin Americans. I think it's a very special moment. And with that, I want to, Paulo to have the last words. Thanks.
Thank you, Leão. And well, we're getting to the end of our talk. I hope you liked it, and most importantly, that we've been very clear of our commitment in Portuguese to Latin America. Eu vou falar em português aqui, porque o pessoal está sugerindo. E a gente está terminando agora o talk, só para deixar bem claro o nosso comprometimento com a América Latina, e acho que reforçar um pouco do que o Hector falou, né? Entender o que é esse ecossistema, como é que você consegue começar a fazer games, começar a fazer essas experiências com o Unreal Engine de graça, e aí começar a ter sucesso e a gente poder oferecer para vocês a oportunidade de lançar na Epic Game Store. Mais na frente, no futuro, quando a empresa estiver pronta, a gente tem Epic Games Publishing, e quem sabe, sei lá, num momento mais à frente, quando você tiver um jogo de sucesso, quem sabe não fazer uma parceria com a gente, quem sabe não ter um personagem no teu game no Fortnite. Bom, infelizmente hoje a gente não vai conseguir responder perguntas e respostas, mas esses são os nossos Twitter handles. Se vocês quiserem conversar com a gente online, podem seguir a gente no Twitter, nas redes sociais. E bom, obrigado ao Big Festival, obrigado a todo mundo que esteve online, que está online até essa hora, falando com a gente, e nos vemos no ano que vem. Obrigado, pessoal.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for all of this content, especially like bringing Brazilian content into Fortnite. This is so special for us. Thank you, everyone.
Big Festival 2021, the biggest games festival in Latin America.